Let's do this.
Welcome back, family. Hey, I know most people hate Mondays, but we get a full new hot list, 20 books to look at. Let's see what the comic book industry is doing. Let's have some fun. So we got Robert Monroe already checking in. How's it going, dude? Welcome. Good evening, Rich, my fellow coconuts. Absolutely. Meanwhile, number one. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, too. All right, so we've got, like I said, 20 books, and I started looking at them, but I want to be prepared and have some information, but at the same time, I want to try to be a little bit surprised by these things too. We got the angry straight white male checking in. How's it going? So let's jump right into the list right off the bat. We have coming at number 20, Spider Woman issue number 7, the Peach Momoko black costume. Now, it doesn't say second print, which is interesting. It says it's a pre-release of June 19th. Now, issue number 7 already came out, and the Virgin was a 1 in 25. Yeah, it is a second print, so I guess that's supposed to be this one. Couldn't tell you, but it's pre-selling now for $30. Highest known. Average sale 18. I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. It's the first team appearance of the Assembly, which is Titan, Cadet Marvel, Moonsquire, Liberty, and Hellrune. Okay, we need several things to happen for this to be worthwhile 6 months or a year from now. First, all the planets have to be in alignment. No, seriously, we need them to print less than what will ultimately be the demand. Which, if it's a pre-release June 19th, probably not. We need the storyline to be good, and historically, Spider-Woman and She-Hulk books don't last long term as far as their storylines. We need for this team, the Assembly, to mean something. You know, not just how many different teams, first appearances, costumes, everything that has been the hot flavor of the month or week or day or hour. And then 3 months later, it's, you find it in a dollar bin. So I'm making a prediction. I haven't looked at the rest of the list yet. But if this is a second print, normal amount, not a ratio, and people are paying $20 for it, I think this might be my rubber band to the butt. We'll see how it goes. Coming in at number 19, we've got Wolverine number 88. This is the first direct meeting of Wolverine and Deadpool and the first battle. Now, this book is on the hot list every time there is any kind of news with a Deadpool Wolverine interaction. And I have a feeling we're actually going to see this pose in the movie. And as soon as the movie comes out of the movie theater, this book is going to drop back down to normal levels. Now, what do I mean by normal levels? Right now, it's $525 for a 9.8 people are paying. I think it's going to be closer to $425. Canadian Spireless, thank you for joining. How's it going? What I find interesting, though, is a 9.6 just sold for 110. Dude, the way grading is right now, I would be interested in a 9.6 at 110 for this book. I'm not dropping $5 though on a 9.8, not in a 1994 book. So that's just me. It's a book that everybody wants to get in a collection, but the problem is you remember to buy it when it's on the hot list. You forget when it's off. I'll try to help remind you. Number 18, we have X-Men 266, the second appearance of Gambit and the first cover appearance. But most people consider this to be the iconic book to get. There's going to be some spoilers in here for X-Men 97. I apologize. There's just no way of really dealing with this list without talking about it, especially when you get to the top 4 books. 9.8 has dropped in fair market value of $857. One just sold for $600. 9.6, 210. The reason being episode 5. I'll just say that. And now there's a lack of demand for Gambit because his future in the cartoon is uncertain. Wait just a little bit longer. I don't think you're going to see him reappear in the finale, but in between season 1 and season 2, I think this book is going to dip a little bit more, and then there's no way they don't bring him back. Not with all the storylines between him and Rogue if they're staying comic book true. That's just my opinion. Um, I think I actually have a couple of copies of this, a low grade Mark Jewelers, and I have one that is um, maybe a 9.0. So uh, it's a book that I think is worthwhile for the long run. Number 17 on the list, we have Deadpool and Wolverine, World War III, issue number one, the Gabriel Delato Virgin 1 in 100. It's a nice cover, but um, again, we don't know how good this. I agree with you, except for the fact that the creators of the show said they're not doing time travel. They said that that's how Cable got there, but they're sticking by the absolute point, absolute, absolute point, and they're not reversing anything with time travel. Of course, they might travel back in time and change that statement, so who knows? But yeah, again, they have addressed that, and it doesn't look like it's going to be backed by time travel, but we'll see what happens. So this 1 in 100 Deadpool Wolverine 460 for a 9.8. That's got to be a pre-sale, obviously. 161, 175 for raw covers. So I think a lot of this is being driven by the hype of the movie, the fact that it's 1 in 100. I don't trust ratio variants at all these days. And I really think stores probably, with the amount of covers they had, stores probably, your average store ordered 100. Some of the big stores probably ordered a lot more. I think the quantity on the 1 in 100s is going to be a lot more than people thought it was. And this is not going to hold value. I think when the movie ends, exits, and a lot of these books start making their way back from CGC at about the same time, the market is going to be saturated and nobody's going to be buying, and this is going to come down a lot. I think a 9.8 is going to wind up selling ultimately for about 225, and raws are going to be closer to 90, just slightly less than a ratio. Again, I'm not a ratio fan. I just think it's killing the market, but that's just me. 2019, 1870, 16. We've got Larry's favorite girlfriend, Dazzler, number one. The premiere issue of the Dazzler's first self-titled series, as I always say, because it's on this list all the time. There is no newsstand variant of this. This was the first book that was direct sale only back in 1981. So what are we doing now? We're saying 9.8 selling for $200, but 9.6 sell for 73. Jeez. I remember every single book that they made went to stores. So every single copy was being purchased by a collector. So 9.8 should be pretty easy to come by, honestly. 8.5 sold for 80, but a 9.0 sold for 40. Really? um, yeah, whether she's in the movie or not, this book is going to drop down. Wait till after the movie. If you really want to get yourself a nice one, don't forget that there is a uh, printing error one. I think it's a slightly different shade of color. And me, I'd wait till after the movie and look for one for like 130. I just don't think it's going to be any more than that in the long run. Number 15 on the list, we have Ultimate Fallout number 4. Now, honestly, this is a book that has dropped quite a bit in price slowly over time. And I think it's also a victim of the long hiatus in between the second and third Spider-Verse movies. I actually have two of these. I'm going to have to remove one from my inventory because I have a 9.2 and a 9.4. Well, the 9.2 is one of the books that I'm submitting to Rob's Fat Stacks of Comics for his auction. I've already got it pulled out. I just got to remove it from here. Yeah, 9.6 just sold for 460. That's less than I paid for the 9.2 and the 9.4. Well, less than a 9.4. The 9.2 I bought as a raw, then had some grading, interesting stories. um, 9.2, 360, 9.0, 335. But an 8.5 sell for 525. Guys, you got to buy those 8.5s, man. They're worth a fortune. All you need is one idiot to pay too much for it. So you can get yourself a lower grade now. 7.0s under $200 at 177, but a 6.0 just sold for 319. Guys, just be when you're looking up your book that you're getting ready to buy, do not just look at the grade that you're about to buy. Make sure you check above and below to make sure that the price that you see in the price guide is not an aberration of a crazy sale. Those idiots always ruin the market. Amen. Um, but yeah, this might be a good time right now to look for a higher grade or upgrading one of your grades of an Ultimate Fallout 4. Just don't buy anything that says acetate. All right, number 14, right? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Yes. Spider-Man number 1, the silver, the McFarlane run that came out in 1990. I do not have any clue why this is on the list. We have a 9.8 that just sold for $66. This was when they printed it, when it first came out. This set the record for the most printed book. It's been beaten since, but I think well, it was beaten by Spawn. That's for dang sure. But there's a ton of these, and there's also the gold variants, the silver. I think it's a platinum. It's all different types of covers, but it's still a well-known book that people want to have in their collection. If I'm not mistaken, one of these was I think these were polybag that they came out too. Um, if you can get a 9.8 of this for 66 and not get killed on shipping, this is a great 9.8 slab to put into your collection or to give to somebody as a present. Remember, you're looking for a Christmas present. It's not bad. Take advantage of this market the way it is. I'd grab a copy of that at 66 if I saw it. Why not? All right, number 13 on the list. Omega Men, number 3, first appearance of Lobo. This is Greg and my bro book. We both have 9.8 copies of this. 9.8 just sold for 338, up a little bit from its FMV at 310. I think I paid 300 for mine, so I'm still in the same ballpark. Greg, of course, had a raw and sent it in and got a 9.8. So as far as that is concerned, he's got me beat, and I'm happy for him. 9.6 sold for 125. 9.4, 112. This is all speculation. Everything going on with James Gunn. He's starting to release some pictures of the Superman, and people are really expecting there to be some sort of an announcement soon about Lobo. He loves the character Lobo, and he wants to start making some more headlines towards the DC side of things, which is cool. And when this news does break, if there's any type of Lobo movie or casting called for it, this is going to shoot up. So this has hit higher prices in the past. It was at about a year and a half ago. It was at 554. So, and I believe that was because Gunn had made some sort of a tweet. It had Lobo in as a little emoji of Lobo or something like that. Number 12 on the list, we've got X-Men issue number 4, the first appearance of Omega Red. Why? Because there was a cameo of him at the end of the last episode of X-Men 97. This little scene like, oh, hey, there's Omega Red. I was hearing some negative comments being made about the Superman S on the new suit. Have you seen it? What do you think of it? I have also seen those comments. I have seen it, and I can understand some of the gripe, but honest to God, I don't care what the letter S looks like on his shirt, on his costume. If it's a good movie with good acting and good writing, people are not going to pay attention to the S. I can understand that if it's a character from another civilization, not just another planet, the character doesn't have to look exactly like the letter S in our alphabet. So they want to have a little creative change to it, but still keep the same type of swoop. That's fine. Give us a good movie. good acting, good storyline. Don't make us look like wow, horrible CGI. Give us something decent, and nobody's going to care about the letter S. I think right now people are nitpicking too much about stuff. So again, Mega Red had a cameo or whatever in X Men '97. Um, in see April of 2021, this book hit $500. Now it's selling for 110 for a 9.8. I think right now that's still a little bit too high. I would wait till after the end of the season. I don't think that Omega Red is going to factor in between the finale. He may in the future, but 110. This book is now coming up on 32 years old. I don't think he's going to be a major contributor. That's unfortunately. It's better things. I have better things to complain about than the superhero suit. Some fanboys. Yeah. So Robert and I, we see eye to eye on so many different things. Man. I agree. Um, you can have the absolute perfect costume. If the story stinks, it's not going to help. Uh, do I think this is a good buy right now? No, but I don't know how much lower it's going to go than the 110 it's currently selling for. Maybe you might get it for 90, 95 in between seasons. We'll see how it is. Yeah, exactly. That well, we're in the modern era since what, 1980? So I mean roughly 80, 82, something like that. So last 40 years has been the modern era. I think we need to get another um tier, golden, silver, platinum, bronze, modern, and we should call this the incentive era. So I think that I would hold off on getting this, but at 110 for a 9.8, it's not terrible. All right, so we have number 11, right? 12, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Yes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles free comic book day. Robert, I know that you like hit every comic store in the Northeast. I didn't get a TMNT, but this is the first appearance of Night Watcher. We have 9.8s pre-selling for 44, and Raws are selling for 4 to 6. I understand where you're coming from, Robert, but at the same time, I understand the fanboys. I remember people missed the trunks on Henry Cavill. Harley Quinn fans are upset they race swapped her. When did they race swap Harley Quinn? Sometimes you just want to see exactly what the comics were that they read growing up. Well, congratulations on the TMNT. Um, I can understand what you're saying with this, that they want to read the comics, so see it on the screen the same way that they read it. And I'm going to give a great example of this. Um, when I saw Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury, I'm like, whoa, 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 why? Why? Nick Fury is more. He looks more like David Hasselhoff than he does, than he does an old David Hasselhoff. Than Samuel L. Jackson. Why they got why they have to race swap? There's no point to that. And I thought I was going to have a real hard time seeing Nick Fury as Samuel L. Jackson. Now I have a hard time reading a comic book and seeing a white Nick Fury because Samuel L. nailed it so well. With the Secret Invasion story on the side, that wasn't his fault. Um, if it's done right, I don't have a problem with it. But change just for the sake of change, I don't agree with. But change, if it's can be an improvement, I'm not that, I can handle it. Cake Crusaders show. Really? Yes, exactly. I just want good stories. Um was the Cape Crusaders show animated or live action, and how was she in it? Did she do a good job? Because that's the ultimate test. Same thing with Samuel Jackson. Like I was saying, if they did a good job playing the character, I'm okay with it. I think anybody would have a hard time beating Margot Robbie though, and it's not just because she is oh my god gorgeous, but she's got that craziness in her. You know, anybody that can pull off being a Barbie doll. Oh, okay. I mean, look, they race swapped the Little Mermaid, and people lost their minds. That didn't bother me at all. When I saw the movie, that bothered me because it wasn't a good movie. Have you seen some of the events of stereotypes that were? Oh, jeez. Oh yeah. Should I pull out one of my World War II Captain Americas and show you how they depicted people of Japanese persuasion? Woof. All right, let's get back to this list, guys. So I don't like the fact that there are 9.8s pre-selling at 44 because I know that these are all from stores that when they open them up, they cherry picked the best copies and they didn't care about the rest because they're giving them away for free. So all the stores are the ones that are got all these free comic books that they cherry pick for 9.8s and sending them in. Um, if it's a first appearance and you want to grab for $4 or $5, okay. I wouldn't give anybody money for a 9.8, especially since I guarantee you some are going to come back as 9.9s with today's market the way it is. Larry's jumping in here. They usually don't do a good job. It's usually directors just doing for representation. Yep. I mean, just think about Brian Singer directing X Men. I want to do my take of X Men. Nobody's allowed to read an X Men comic. What? You're making a movie about characters, but you're not going to even let people understand what the comic book characters' personalities were. Look at Ebony White in the Spirit. Oof. uh, Comic Fed. Hey, dude, what's up? Thank you for joining us. We have a second Canadian in the house. All right, so we have just reached the midway point. So I'm going to say a little thank you to all our Patreon and YouTube members. And here we go. Hey, before we start off the top 10, let me give everybody a reminder, and especially since Comic Vet is here, remind everybody don't forget, we have the upcoming in October. You better start watching the videos now and getting a hold of the channel. Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics for comics curing cancer. And if you happen to be at Heroes Con, stop by and visit them. They're going to be there. They're going to have a booth. You got to say hi. You got to, for the proper donation. He'll even let you twirl his mustache. It's great. He won't do that. And do not tell him I said that. All right. Let's jump back. Let's get into the top 10 of this week's list. We have Deadpool and Wolverine, World War III, the Gabriel Delata surprise one per store. Now remember, the one before was a 1 in 100. A one per store usually translates to about a 1 in 25 as far as value. $150 pre-sale for a 9.8, and the raw sales are going for 20 to 21. I still think, oh man, you know what it is? There's been so many times when people have gotten burned on these one per stores that they don't hold any kind of value. But $20, 150 is too high for 9.8. But $20, $25 or so for the raw might be worth it if the story is good. Introduction of Wade Wilson III, first cameo appearance of Delta. This would probably be higher if there wasn't a 1 in 100 Virgin variant like that right there. I'd still, I wouldn't be against paying $20 ish for a one per store. for the Raw, but I'm not spending 150 on a 9.8. Coming at number 9, we have Spider-Woman number 7. This is the regular cover A, and that team appearancing again. Let's see. Oh, wow. $13. Last week it was like 20, was it? No, here we go. 31 was the Raw last week. Now it's selling for 13. So it's already lost almost two-thirds of its value. Uh, I consider this is going to continue. This is going to drop back down. Next week, you're going to see this under 10, if it's on the list at all. It's only good if the story means something, if the team means something. We have no idea. This is just, I think it's going to be one of a thousand other team first appearance, new costume, first meeting that we've gotten in the last couple of years, and everybody's just going to forget about it. And 2 years from now, when we revisit some of these lists, we're going to look at it and go, why the heck was this on the hot list? Who the heck is the assembly? So, number 8 on the list, X-Men 97, number 1. This is from March 27th. See, I have one of these. Cool. Oh, wow. Really? The Raws are going for 18, 19, 9.8 for 91. That's interesting. Highest sale was on April 30th for 161. That's nuts. I may have to pull my copy out and send it in. I mean, I don't even think that the storyline in this is following the show. Not, not sure on that. Um, However, this is all from the hype from the show itself. When the season ends, this is going to drop some. It's going to drop after the show. Yeah, exactly. But it may pick up again before season 2. It all depends on what kind of a cliffhanger we get in 2 days. But $90 for a 9.8, that's coming down. Even Spider-Boy doesn't hold that right now, and that's actually a newer character. Couple months, 9.8s are going to be going for 60, 65. The Raws are probably going to be going for 10, 12. So hold off on it, guys. That's that one. So we got 10, 9, 8. Number 7. The Blood Hunt Red Band Edition, 1 in 25 homage. The crime suspense stories with the decapitation. Let's see what this is selling for this week. Oh, 9/8 pre-selling for 600 and $208 for the Raws. Wow. Jeez. And one just sold the other day for 271. Wow. Okay, now I only got the Raw. And the Raw is actually going up too, so that's cool. But so 1 in 25, and it's hitting these prices, it might not come back down. It might not come back down. Let me rephrase that. It's probably going to come back down to 200 or so, 210 on the Raw. But your 9.8s, that's definitely going to settle when people start getting them back from CGC. That might come down to say 350, 400. But this book is going to be a blue chipper for a while. I think this is going to be one of the best books from this year. But I'm not dropping $200 on a brand new 1 in 25 Marvel book. Believe me, I got a book that I have to do what's in the box that I just spent $200 on, and I'll take that one every single day of the week. Sorry, people are cray cray. I mean, it's a cool cover. I got to give credit on that. It is a cool cover, and it's got the distressed look to it, which I don't like, but works on this one. That's we got to have one or two books that are actually worth something from the modern edge era, but I can't drop $200 on a Raw on a 1 in 25 just yet. The Revival number 1 from Image Comics from 2012. Let me guess, this got optioned or it's in development? It's the only reason that a 12-year-old Image book would pop up. We had 9.8 selling for 70, but there was a 9.9 back in 2021. And Raws are selling for anywhere between 8 and 20. Depends on what grade you want to spend. Well, I swear, honestly, I would not spend 20 on a Raw if I can get a 9.8 for 70. What two of these didn't expect them to take off are D'Artagnan. Welcome to the show. Are you referring to the revival, or are you referring to the blood hunt? Which did you buy two of? And whichever it is, I'm glad it took off for you. And you have a variant. I take you have a variant of of revival. Um, don't know which variant you have, but Hector Ortiz is showing Marvel has done things like new team appearances such as Tiger Division and the Assembly for years now that led to absolutely nothing. Talk about damaging the hobby. Absolutely. Well, I don't know if I can blame them for damaging the hobby. They're trying to create new characters for people to read. It's us that are going out and spending 20, 30, $40 speculating on it being worth something. So, if anything, I think we're kind of ruining the hobby a little bit ourselves. Oh, you have the one in 25. Why upset? Why a sad face? Or you have number 25. I'm not sure which. Bloodhound 1 in 25. Oh, congratulations. Awesome pull there. Sci-Fi is adapting the revival as a series. Well, they usually do a decent job with some of their shows. I love The Expanse. And it's signed by Francavilla. Signed by the F Man. There you go. Yeah. Or woman. Not sure which. All right. So let's move on to the next one. I'm just going to check here. Okay. We are one, two, three. They're in the top five now. Evangeline is still up here on the list. He does the horror covers. Cool. He's taking speculation, shakes angry. Nice visual. So we have first appearance of Evangeline. This is a show. This is something that's being adapted, and this has been on the list kind of on and off for the last few weeks. I think it jumped on, then it fell off, and I think now this is the second or third week it's been on the list again. Let's see, 175 now for 9.8. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there was a long time where people didn't. There were no 9.8 sales. No, I guess not. 113. 80 for a 9.8 back on April 5th. April 4th, 80. Now people are paying 180, 150. No. Okay. So even if this is in development, which it is, how long until it comes out? 2 years? So between now and then, will it go back down to 80? No. Will it hit 110? Yeah. So don't want to strike when the iron is hot. Wait till that puppy cools off. Coming in number 4. Gee, any surprise that the first appearance of Deadpool's on this list? We've got the newest trailer that just dropped. We got probably have another trailer that'll drop between now and the movie. 1175 for a 9.8, fair market of 1407. Prices are already starting to come down. People, it was for a while that when the movie dropped, that was the high point, and it is JP's Budget Collecting that has trended this and shown that the peak is when the trailer drops, and then it starts to come down. So we're already in the point where this book is starting to come down, and I would expect this to continue. I do not own one. I'll be honest, I have never owned a first appearance of Deadpool. I'd like to get one. I will keep my eyes open for it, and I will be looking somewhere around September, October. Evangeline package to Warner Brothers with Margot Robbie, Olivia Wilde, Simon Kinberg, Poor Things, Tony McNamara to adapt Deadpool, creator Rob Liefeld, comic book from Deadline. Yes, I knew that Olivia Wilde was attached to it. I forgot about Margot Robbie as well, but I never read it, so I can't tell you if it's going to translate well or not. But look, even if it translates perfectly, you're still 2 years away. So just wait for it to fall off the list a little bit. Coming in number 3. Oh, boy. Okay, we're in serious spoiler here if you haven't seen X-Men 97 from last week. Wolverine issue number 75, the first appearance of Wolverine's bone claws. Yeah, this is definitely jumping up. We have a 9.8 that sold in September of 2023 for 350. Now it's selling for 92, but it's on its way up. For the X-Men movie, correct? Not the animated series. Oh, very nice. You know what? I'm gonna cash app you $2. Let you double your money. You can send it up to me. No, congratulations. Yes, movie. Okay, for Evangeline. For X-Men. Sorry. um, Jeez, this book came out in '93, the era of overprinting at its finest. Um, I'm not gonna. I know. Yeah, I'm kind of jealous about it too. Congratulations. Uh, if you understand the whole storyline about why Wolverine has bone claws, then you kind of already know where X Men '87 was going. And oh boy, I can't say that this is going to be a long term investment, why worthy book, but it may be for short term. If you can still get a raw for 15 or a 9.8 for under 100, and you should be able to flip it pretty quickly for more than that. But I wouldn't get it for, yes. Yeah. I wouldn't go higher than that because I think in the long run, this will this will settle a little bit. Right now, it's super hype. Number two. Okay. Again, I told you guys to wait in advance. Total spoilers if you haven't seen X Men '97. Issue number 25 from X Men. That's Wolverine number 75. That's from November 1st. This is October 1st. So a month earlier, Magneto rips adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton. Here you go. There's your total spoiler. I don't know why you want a depowered Wolverine. It gives people a sense of what Wolverine was like before Stryker, before they put it in. Remember, Wolverine was around for 150 years before that, or 200 years, or whatever before that, and it builds up that much more for when he gets his claws back. You know, when he gets the adamantium back. I knew that this series was going to be cutting edge when I saw him slicing up the people that were um, the Sentinels, and I'm like, I understand they're robots, but they are still people, and he's cutting off arms and whatnot. And when his claws went through Magneto, and you saw blood on the claws, I started losing my shit. Ask Robert. He fast forwarded to the, the watch along to see my reaction. My wife wanted to come running into the room to find out if I was okay. I was just F this and S this and oh my God. This was a traumatic book when you read it, and it was a very disturbing episode of X Men '97. This might hold value for some time until he at least gets his adamantium back. Let's see, 115. You find a 9.8 for 115, buy it. Gee, thanks. I'm glad my anxiety could bring you pleasure. No, seriously, that's why I did the watch along though. I would buy a $115 9.8 of this book, especially if a 9.6 sold for 90. But ooh, I wouldn't go higher than 140. And I see 9.8s in 2020 were selling for 2013. Now, 213. That's more prior to the boom of 2021. So I think that this book could have a little bit of an upside. All right. And issue this number one on the list, and this is going to be what everybody is speculating for the finale. So if you don't want to have speculation for the finale, you might want to turn this off. All fair warning. Here we go. X-Men number 53, the first full appearance of Onslaught. Yeah, and I agree. I think we're getting Onslaught in the finale. Um, I think it's going to be his formation, and he'll say something like, "I am Onslaught," and that'll be bang, end credits, and you got to tune back in for season 2. All right, so what do we got for prices on this? And this is the direct sale. Yeah, highest known value of a 9.8 was at 400. Now it's 128 for a 9.8 and 77 for a 9.6, $72 for high grade raw, which is way, way, way up from a $42 FMV. I got to pull out this run and put it on eBay. um, as powerful, I just want to hear what his voice is going to sound like, because that has always been like, and everybody has a different thought of how the voice is supposed to sound. 1996, very overprinted books, but yeah, if I could find a 128 9.8, I might pull the trigger on that myself, because I think that, well, this is a heck of a lot surer bet than Dazzler. Jeez. But if he turns out to be the big bad of season 2, this book can go up. And then when season two is over, this book is coming down. In all honesty, I checked out of comics during this era. The artwork was ugly, in my opinion. Feral Wolverine was ugly. Turned me off. Took me out of the hobby until 2018. Not only that, but how many books did they have that were now bi-weekly, now weekly? It's like they came out with another. Oh, it's 7:00. We have another issue. It's 8:00. We have another issue. It turned off a lot of people. So they're trying to be a little bit better than they were back then with the incentive ratios, but it kind of reminds me of all the insert cards and sports cards in the late 90s and early 2000s, where it was super high in price, and then the next year when the new inserts came out, last year's inserts all dropped in price. So, and that caused a lot of damage to the market. But then comic book manufacturers are not in business to worry about our market. They're in business to make money selling books. Okay. We should be responsible enough ourselves to govern our own market. That being said, we're not. All right. So now I've got to get 2 picks now. I have my gun to the head pick, which is the book that I would buy at current price off of this list that I think has the best chance of, if not going up, but at least going down the least. Because I really don't have too much faith for books that are on the hot list already. Oh, actually, yeah, I think that's my choice right there. I said it before, and I will stick by my convictions that my gun to the head pick, if I were to pull the trigger on one of these, I would be going for a 9.6. I still, I don't want to spend over 1,000, but a 9.6 of an Ultimate Fallout 4 first appearance of Miles Morales for 460. I think that is so worth it. Especially if when we get the announcement that Miles Morales is coming to live action. Heck, even as we get closer to the finale of the Spider-Verse and we get the first trailer, this is going to go back up. So keep your eyes open. If you can get yourself a 9.6 for 460 or anything under 500, I think that that's a great buy. Okay, now for my rubber band to the butt, what I consider to be the absolute worst investment on this list. We got that one. We got that one. There's a couple of high price ones on here too. Boy, I got a good choices this week for the rubber band to the butt, don't I? Okay, let's see which one is the worst, worst, worst. No, I can't keep picking on her though. Am I the only one that didn't like the animation in the intro into the Spider Verse movie? Gave me a headache. Um, the animation didn't impress me as much as the first movie, but I think the part that that was the most of a step down to me was the soundtrack. The first movie had a perfect soundtrack. The second movie was good, but not anywhere near the same level. Even my 6-year-old told me he didn't like it, and he loves Miles. um, jeez, jeez, jeez. Where is? I could have swore that the book was on here too. I think my choice is right there. Nope, wrong one. Okay. My choice for Rubber Band to the Butt Worst Investment is the Deadpool and Wolverine 1 in 100 Virgin, 460 for a 9.8 or 161 for a Raw. No, I just think that too many of these things are ordered by stores. So every store has got one, two, more, three. Some of the bigger guys probably have 50 of these things. And I think there's just going to be a glut on the market. Also, this and secondly, this is going to suffer from the when the movie's over, everything related to Deadpool and Wolverine is going to drop. So I would just avoid this book. I wouldn't be looking. I wouldn't get it for anything over 50 in a raw. I'm not going to. Obviously, I'm not going to get it, but that's what I consider it to be worth long term. I want to get Dazzled. I want to have Taylor Swift sign it. You realize what that line would be like? Jeez. I like the art. I loved how colors change with the change of emotion. Yes, especially anything to do with Gwen and her father. What happens if Taylor doesn't play Dazzler? No one will understand why you got it signed in 10 years. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. She was supposed to play it, man. It got cut for the movie, put on the floor. The second Miles Morales ending was stressful. I can see why a kid wouldn't like it. Yeah. I'd have sold it way before then. uh, can what I think would be amazing, and, and I think hear me out. If CGC got together with Taylor Swift and did a signing, what do you call it? Limited, because that was otherwise there's going to be 5 billion things flying coming in there, but it's got to be expensive. Let's just say it's $700 a signature, with all the proceeds going to children's cancer research or something. That would be a phenomenal um, marketing ploy and advertising for a worthy cause. I wanted to sign my moobs, not my books. Uh, well, I mean, if you want to mail yourself into CGC and have yourself encased in plastic, go ahead. All right, so that is the cover price top 20, which is the top 10 and the runners up. What do you guys think is the best choice on this list? Do you think that the Blood Hunt is going to have legs? Well, it doesn't have anything from the neck down. Boom, boom. What do you think is going to be the one that a year from now, 2 years from now, is the one that we'd say, shoot, we should have bought it? And what's the one that you think is we're going to look at and go, why did I buy that? I think Onslaught, a lot of people are going to purchase. That's what I'm saying right now. If you can get it for that price and flip it quick, that's a good thing. But in 2 years, 3 years, that's these a lot of these books are not going to be worth the money. That's the whole thing. Which is why I've shifted most of my buying to Golden Age, Silver Age, and I'm gonna have to make a nice video tomorrow of what's in the box, what came in, a mail call. There we go. Because I'm looking at a box I can't wait to open. All right, guys. I want to say thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, especially if you're on the replay, and tell me what you think about which books are hot, should be hot, aren't hot, which ones on here should not be on those lists. Don't forget to join us on Wednesday for New Comic Book Day because we give away books every single week. And thanks again to the Patreon members that joined us for our get together on Saturday. Gave away some really nice books. I mailed off Jason's because I was holding the slab that he won, or we're giving him for his birthday. So I put it in the box with his picks from Saturday. The other books, the other three people, I still got the books somewhere. They're around here. I didn't lose them. Don't worry. I just can't see them. I don't want to spin the camera around. It's embarrassing. All right, guys. I want to say thank you one more time. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to drop a comment. Click on the notifications. Share it with your friends. Hang out. Uh, Patreon/Timohana and join down below to help support the channel. Until I see you in the next video, though. Mahalo.